Everyone keeps saying, what happened? I actually put us on the boutique instead of on the Goofy Geek page because this is the Goofy Geek podcast. And I bet you that's my better half saying I messed it up. Going, you messed up.
Oh, now we're like stupid loud.
Yeah, so we had little difficulties. Now we're on the right page. We're ready to start our podcast. We are very giggly tonight. We are.
And we apologize.
Yes.
But not really.
Yeah, it should be a fun. If you really want to watch this, you're probably going to have a fun night because this has been, again, me messing up by putting it on the wrong page. We did a live last night and Santa Claus came and I was not allowed to be on it at all. So Santa was there. And we had a few kids like kissing the camera to Santa and stuff like that, which was really, really nice. Mm-hmm. But, wow. Santa was hot, I will tell you that. Because he was from the North Pole. He was sweating. I know that because Shannon was saying to me, oh, Santa was so hot. We had the AC on like 62.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, it's so hot. He was dying. 2 hours. Santa was...
Poor Santa.
Poor Santa. And I say it that way because...
we both have our cups on.
Oh, we do. Oh, man. You know what it is? You don't think about it.
Right,
wait, it's your
that
cup.
Thing on.
There you go. And so it was really... it was a fun night. I wasn't there, really. I watched it.
You watched it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Santa came. Come on.
Yeah.
I knew my place.
We love Santa.
I love Santa too, so.
Santa's always first.
Yes. So I basically was like, fine. So I stepped down and let Santa do the live, and it was fun.
Nice.
And how was your week?
It was good. We, I'll say this again because we're on a different, different live now.
Different live since I messed up and put it on the wrong page.
At least it wasn't me this time.
It was a sponsored page. Does that count for anything? It was a sponsor page. So technically it's not that wrong.
I guess you could have just shared it to the other page.
Yeah, I guess we could have, but
whatever.
I didn't want to step on anyone's toes, and some people from the geek probably waits for this to come on.
That's true.
And they don't see it because it was on the boutique.
Yeah.
Too many goofy geeks.
Yeah.
That happens.
But anyway, so our friends adopted their grandson, finally. He's almost 2, and... They usually do things, I believe, don't like go by me, but I believe everything is usually done by 1.
Mm-hmm.
But because of COVID, everything's changed, like, or is pushed back, you know?
Yeah.
But it was nice. It was a Zoom adoption, so we were able to go and
nice.
watch. And then yesterday was a little party for him.
That is awesome. I'm actually really thrilled.
Yeah.
I actually know the friend, so I'm actually really thrilled.
Yeah.
Because, I actually just met that little boy on 4th of July. Mm-hmm. So I didn't even know. That's how much out of a loop I was.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, who's this little boy? Especially when it's a woman that I've known my whole life. I've known Debbie since I was in 5th grade.
Yeah.
So, and I was just kind of like, what? I know no one cares, but I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy for them. I can't be any happier that they adopted that little boy.
Yeah.
Grandson.
He's in a good home.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's hey guys, Facebook hates me. Me too.
Yeah, well, there we go. We got some, hey guys, Facebook hates me tonight. Yep.
Me too, Shannon.
Thank you, Shannon. Don't feel bad because I put it in the wrong place. And why can't the word stay up in this stupid thing?
Did you update this one or just the other one?
No, I just update this one. This one's old. This one,
maybe that's
I think
why.
If I updated it, probably catch on fire.
Nice. Do you want to see it mine? You can try to pull up at mine.
Whatever works. Oh yeah, I found out some interesting facts about the Harry Potter thing, by the way, because I did actually like homework, because that's why I couldn't find it to share it. Yes, I put it on the wrong page, Shannon.
It's his fault this time.
It is all my fault this time. For some reason, I put it on the boutique, and you know what? I think we were like I was doing like 6 things at one time when I was doing the video, and I just wasn't thinking.
You're doing 6 things?
Yes.
What were you doing?
I was having popcorn because Kelsey
You were
was...
being fed popcorn. It's not even like your hand was going in there.
I know, but I was on the phone, and she was like, here you go, have some popcorn. And I was like, okay. And I wasn't paying attention. Blame it on your fiance, not me.
So that was the 6 other things?
And yes, I was writing too. I was writing the Harry Potter 4th movie, not realizing I was on the wrong page when I wrote it. Why are you giving me so much? Your words disappeared too. Thank you.
Whatever.
Did you know that Myrtle? What's she yell at me?
Niles can't
do one thing at a time. Yeah, I can't multitask. I'm a man. Isn't that what the trick is? If you're a man, you can't multitask. Only women can. I believe it.
I'm not good at multitasking either.
You?
No. I'm so bad at it.
What?
Like,
well, you hit record this time, so we're doing good.
That's good. I thought you were about to say I didn't.
I had a little meltdown.
Right.
All right. So I actually found out something really cool. I don't know if I said this one time that the girl that plays Moaning Myrtle was actually older. I found out her actual age. She was 36 when she did that role.
I think I knew she was in her 30s. I didn't know
she's 36. So that means the next time, which is in this movie, which is what she's already almost pushing 40. She doesn't even look like that.
No.
I'm 45 and I look a disaster here. I look like I'm 60.
Well, like I said, I thought she was literally like Daniel Radcliffe. Like I thought Daniel was playing him.
Oh, yeah.
But yes.
How would you even think she talks like that? Because that's her real
voice.
That's her real voice. Yeah, I saw her. She was in a Doctor Who episode. Yeah. And I was totally in love with him. And Nicole says hello. Hello, Nicole.
Hello, Nicole.
She's my anime buddy. She usually, at all the boutique stuff, she makes bows herself. Nice. And she usually gives me a lot of grief. A lot of grief.
Everyone gives you grief.
Her and Alexis, there's a girl named Alexis that like to, on our lives, literally will be like, hit him. And then Shannon will whack me out of the blue. And then everyone goes crazy. I'm not sure why that's such an entertainment for everybody.
I do not.
She does. Don't let her fool you. LOL at the end. Don't let her fool you. She acts like my friend, but then she's like,
that's a true friend.
Hit him.
That's a true friend. I
actually, do you know the,
take your time.
I know. Cause you know what it is? I still can't believe that it is, the spell.
Expecto Patrono.
Yes. Do you know what it means?
Mm-mm.
Means I wait for a protector. See, it's not proper English,
really?
So it's really hard for me to say it. Like I want to say for a protector, but it's I wait for a protector. Protector.
Yeah.
It's so hard to say because it's like your body. Like for me, it's like you want to say the word for, but it's not. So
you could probably add that in, but
yeah, but it's Latin, so it's like the real thing. So it's like I wait a protector. It's crazy.
It makes sense, though.
No, but
I wonder. Did you look at other spells too, or just that?
No,
one?
I just looked up that. I just found out that. Like, I don't even know why I did it. I just one of those things. You know, you ever had those moments where you just Google something? Like you just Google something. Yes. Like you just throw something up there that's like such left field.
I'm gonna look up other spells and see what they translate to.
That'd be a good one. That's a good one.
I have no pens. Shannon, can you text me or message me?
Oh, here he goes. There he goes. Shannon's taking a side. Not Nicole. That's pure sarcasm. Yeah, I don't know. I do that a lot. I just throw up some random thing and throw up some fact.
Yeah.
And then that's actually how I found out that movie we talked about that guy's not real. Because I just throw up that, like, who was this guy?
Yeah.
I do that all the time.
Is it based on? Well, I guess we'll talk about this later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that movie. Yeah. Yeah, but I did. I looked up. I look up the stupidest things. I actually looked up this one, too. Do you know it's 364 licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? I actually Googled
Somebody did that?
A scientist.
Is it like did they do it on multiple times, or is it like how long is it? Like, there's like a whole thing on
There
it.
was a
that.
study on it. That's all I know. How's that? I didn't go in. I mean,
Well,
I
no,
googled it. I
Okay,
didn't
well,
like.
do your little research on that. I'll do the stuff.
Wait a minute. I didn't do the.
You gotta go into it.
Like
if
I
you're gonna
didn't
look up that.
read. Like I didn't have like the performance.
I had so many more questions now. see, that's why I can't look up things like that, because now I need to know the whole study.
Like you need to know more.
Yeah, I have way more questions than just that one.
I think the fact that if it was a study, I mean, there was more than one person that actually sat there and licked lollipops.
Right.
I think I can take the 364 as is.
I need more. I need to know
So
much more to that.
So are you like this when you watch the movie though? Because I'm like that. When I watch a movie, I'll right away go, "Really, you're gonna say that? I heard that. You're gonna take that?" Like, because I mean, even this movie, and I'm gonna jump the gun, but when he's going to knock on the door when they were all talking about Harry being in the games, you know, the Wizard Cup, and I just kind of think like, you just heard that. And yet you're still going. I'd be like, "Whoa, what's happening here? This doesn't sound right." Like he doesn't. Yeah. He just trusts these people with his life. Like you just said, there's so much more. So would you, as Harry Potter, have
I would
jumped
probably need to know more.
You'd just be like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
Yeah. He totally trusts. That's like this movie totally is.
It's all based on trust.
Because everyone is putting him in danger, and he knows it, but yet doesn't do anything, just kind of goes with the flow. Because I don't understand how he doesn't speak out more of like, my name wasn't in there, I'm not in this. Like, I don't know. Like, I totally be like, I'm all set on this. I totally be like, I'm not. You would do it?
I would do what?
Would you do it? Would you talk back or would you do it? Like, because of Harry's situation. Put yourself in Harry's spot. So you're sitting there.
Well, I guess
the goblet spits out your name. I mean, it does. It spits out his name. And it's only supposed to be 3. And you're the 4th one. And he's just sitting there like... And, of course, like, everybody starts believing that he put his name... Like, he tricked somebody or did something. And you guys... For me, I'd just be like, yeah, not happening. Didn't sign up for this ride. And then Snape, if you remember, says, "Well, why don't you let it play out?" Like, he's all like, and then, you know, like, "Oh, you want to use him as bait?" And it's like, "Yes, I do."
Yeah. I don't know. I probably would. Like, if, like, I'm more of like a destiny person. So, like, if this
Are
is,
you?
yeah. Like, everything's meant for a reason. That's what I think.
So you'd be the Harry Potter. You would just go
I would
with
do
it.
it.
Yeah, I would clearly be...
He'd be like, no, not for me. Tap it out.
I would be that way. I'd be...
Like, Voldemort, come for me. I'm ready.
I definitely would need new robes. I'd be a mess. I would be a mess. As much as I like to say, like, I would do what's right. I think I would do things right if okay, what are we doing? The game plan is I'm going to put you as as bait. Okay. Like, I'm really good at knowing, like, if I know what's going on, I'm pretty good. But I'm going to tell you something. Harry really gets thrown into this movie. And the part, like, the part that really hates is at the very end, like the attitude at the very end. "Harry, I'm really sorry I put you in a lot of danger." I'd be like, "Yeah, no fooling, guy.
Right.
It'd been great if you told me in the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm over here fighting this, I'm doing that, and you're over here." I mean, there were things in there that gave, I don't know, like there'd be things that, like, I try to think of myself as the guy who doesn't do magic at all. And the biggest thing that I think that I had the problem was, if I always try to think of, like, if I'm the kid who doesn't know what wizarding really is, how does everything look like in that movie? I know it's your 4th year, but you still live outside that world.
Yeah.
So everything, he's like, yeah, I don't really, because every episode or every movie, we kind of get Harry's like, well, doesn't everyone do this? Or, you know, like,
right.
like
He still doesn't know
he's
everything.
just everything.
Yeah.
Like he just like his toe is always just kind of in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And each movie, the foot gets a little deeper, but everyone's submerged in that life. I mean, everybody knows everything.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have parents to talk to. He doesn't have people to really talk to about what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I think to myself is, after I'll be like, okay, I'm finding a dragon. I'm underwater. Like there's mermaid. Like there's things that I just would go. Like even to the point where all three of them are in the library trying to figure out how he's going to go underwater for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
They're still clueless. Like they're still like they're not even supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Like because they're 14 and
Right.
you're supposed to be 17.
Right.
So they're so out of their league that I'd just be like, how am I supposed to like? It's not like someone said, "Don't worry, we're going to give you somebody." I mean, he
Right.
does have somebody,
Right.
but nobody knows it's for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Fair?
Yeah.
I know someone just wrote. Okay, so Nicole writes, Harry fully trusts Dumbledore. He never questions the things he said. Yeah, you're right. He is so like totally he is totally just willing to throw himself into everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes it's like it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's blind trust. It's blind trust.
Well, I think that goes with being a kid too, thinking you're all that in a bag of chips. Like you're invincible too, you know? Because I'm sure when you were that age, you thought you could like jump off a cliff and you'd be fine.
I was a little smarter than that, but okay. No,
Well, you know what I
no,
mean.
but I know what you mean. Like you feel like you could do some things,
Right.
but but there's some things that I just kind of go.
Well, he's slowly figuring out that like he's meant to like the whole thing is on him. Well, not him,
Right.
but like it's mostly him. Like
I think it really changed. I mean, for me, it would change. And I keep putting myself, because I do that a lot. I put myself in the situation. Like, how would I be 14 in this spot? I think it changes when he actually has the duel at the very end. And then he realizes, okay, I can't fight him. I can't defeat this guy. He's come back alive. He's here.
Mm-hmm.
He's all Lord of pure evil. You know, and
yeah.
and he has the moment where they have that great duel where, you know, like one's not really winning and the other one's like, it's like neutral.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's like when he sees the ghosts or whatever that was and says, hey, you're not ready. We'll give you the minute and you got to get out of here.
Yeah.
And I think at that moment, I think he wakes up and sees like, wow, this bag that I got is way fuller than I expected. Like this is not, you know, beating a troll. You know, like if you go through the first couple of movies, you're like, you know, oh, hey, this kid can do this. You know,
Yeah.
I think this is the first challenge that he had when he realized I'm in deep doo-doo. Like, you know, like that's how I felt like at the end of the movie where, you know, they win, but they don't win exactly the way they wanted to win.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like it was very weird. And this is where I get really crazy with the Dumbledore thing where I go, okay, you know what's happening, but you still let things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically he lets them come back.
Well, he also knows like what he's like. I guess God, like he knows what's gonna happen. He knows that Harry has to beat
Right.
him.
Right. I know.
So,
It's so...
and like yes, looking at it like from an outsider, like why are you sending kids into it? But
Right.
he knows that's how it has to be.
Right. No, I know there's a bigger picture. I mean, obviously, this is my... some movies, it's like my Hunter time, and some of these movies are my third or fourth time, you know, because there are some movies I'll catch on TV way more than others. But it really is crazy where, I mean, again, I'm going to say the quote from the very end where he's like, Harry, I put you in grave danger this year. And it's like, yeah, he's all messed
Right.
up. Like he's all
Every
ripped
year.
apart.
Right.
I mean, and this is where everybody
He's
starts
starting to
changing.
get PTSD from this, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like he's
No,
starting.
it's starting to mess him up.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's definitely.
Because I remember bringing it up to Ashley. I'm like, how do they not have PTSD from all of these things they have?
Well,
to,
I think
but you can see it in him. Like
I
he's
think
starting to like freak out a little bit.
I think the part that really breaks him is when Cedric dies. When Cedric dies, is it Cedric? I think is his name.
I think so.
You know, Ed from from Twilight.
Edward
from Twilight.
Yeah.
I hate those
Whatever his
movies.
name is.
Shannon
You hate
loves-
that movie?
I hate those movies.
I don't love them, but I don't hate them. Like,
I have a big issue.
I'm not gonna just put it
I
on.
have a big issue with episode 2, so we'll just leave it like that. I have a big issue.
We can talk about it later.
The name is correct. Yes, I got it right, Cedric.
Okay.
Thank you, Nicole, anime buddy. I appreciate that. The one thing that I think when he dies, spoiler alert, right? No.
I mean, if you're not gonna watch it by now,
I know you're not watching it.
Right.
When he dies and he brings back the body, and then he breaks down and he won't leave. That's when you realize this is not a game anymore.
Right.
Like Harry looks at that bag and goes, and that's what I said. When he comes back, he gets, and I know that's not a real bag, but it's that thought pattern. Like, oh my, this is it. People have died that I know. This was a good kid. This is a kid that came and talked to me, was in class with me, or, like this.
And
they weren't strangers.
Like it's his fault too.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, he kept saying, just get out of here. Get out. No. Like, and he was so clueless. And like Harry knew right away, like, oh, I'm in trouble. Like, just grab the cup and go. Like, and of course he's like, no. And then he turns around and the kid does what I think everyone would, I didn't cry. That was actually the one thing I didn't cry. That was the one time I didn't cry. It was just like,
you read the books? We did.
Yeah, I know. We don't read the book. We don't read here.
That would take way too long.
We went to Portsmouth. Let's not push it.
I read the first page of the first book like 16 times.
Did you really?
Probably way more than that.
That's so
Because it was like
funny.
cool to read at my time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not reading that book. I watched the movie. We're good.
All right. Books with me is one of those. I know this is going to sound so weird, but I have to know the ending for me to read the book.
You read the last page first?
No, but if someone tells me, hey, Cedric dies in this. Oh, yeah? How's he die? And then I'll read the book to find out how he died. But if I don't have something that makes me want to read the book, I can't read it. Yeah. I'm weird like that. Like I have to have like a fire in my belly to kind of go, okay, I'm going to sit here and read this book. I know it's very disappointing. Very disappointing. So many levels.
See, I just much rather watch it than read it. Well, because I can't picture and read at the same time.
Yeah, but I think like if you were Ashley's age and you came into the like world, there was no, but if you were like, but there were no movies. So don't forget, they didn't start
making. I
making.
just wouldn't know it.
She's like, Harry would have just whatever happened to him.
Right. I would hear what happened.
You would wait till Sammy read them like years later. What happened to Harry? Tell me what.
That's what happened with the Hunger Games. Sammy read the books and then told me all about it. I'm like, cool. Don't have to read it. I'm not kidding. I wish I could say I was kidding.
I know. But I've done the same thing. I'm not going to lie.
I can't. I don't have the motivation.
Truly, at the end of the day, I had in high school, I had a girlfriend, which I did all the way through high school. And she loved to read. And if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't have got through high school.
You'd still be in high school.
Because she would be like, this book is about A, B, C, D. I'd be like, okay. And
Perfect.
then I'd be like, okay, I'm doing this. I only just need little stuff. Or if something was interesting, I've read books. I won't believe what my favorite book is.
What?
Of Mice and Men.
Really?
It's my favorite book. I've read it 100 times.
I don't think I actually read that book.
I love that book with Lenny and stuff like that. I don't know.
I definitely read parts of it because of school, and I only knew what she read in class.
I love that book. It was,
but anything we had to read at home, I didn't do it.
It's the fact that the whole Lenny thing. It totally dragged me.
We watched the movie too. I watched the movie, so I could tell you what happened.
I know. She's like, but that's the book I read before.
And that's why I don't like English class, because they give you like a selection of books.
Our boy Ian's here. Hey,
Hi, Ian.
Oh my God, that book was so sad.
It was a sad book.
It was a sad book.
You didn't see it coming, but it did.
But
yeah, that's why I don't like English class, because they give you a certain thing, and if I'm gonna read, it's gotta be something I like, because it's not gonna be that book. I can tell you that right now. The second I have to like read something that I don't want to, I'm not gonna.
But that's what I'm telling you. I have to have some knowledge of the book to put a little fire under my butt, and then I'll read the book.
I wouldn't. If I'm not interested in it,
it's like knowledge for me. Like if I know something's gonna make me, if something's gonna make me smarter, I'll sit there and do it. And if it's something that I feel is gonna be a waste of my time, it's hard for me to get involved in.
Yeah.
And I know they're like, oh, that means you're going to read more books. No, like I know this is crazy, but I just started because we're doing a podcast. I've tried to listen to some things now. So I go on YouTube, which this is where the podcast is, because I'm trying to listen to stuff. And I end up listening to documentaries. Like I land up for hours listening. I just listened to Robert E. Lee after the war. What happened to him after the war? Like after the Civil War.
Really?
I know I was just going to say the wrong war. But after the war, like not during it, what happened as soon as he surrendered. And there are places that do these long. It was a 2-hour documentary. I sat and listened, and I couldn't turn it off.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good for you.
No,
see,
I can
listen to podcasts,
but I could read that book. Like if there was a book on that,
mm-hmm.
and I was like, I came upon it, I could read something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I'm talking about. Like if it's something real, or something, like something that's interested me, I can totally read that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard for me, like fiction, unless that's really hard for me.
Yeah.
Oh no, here we go. The books are always way better. That is true. Ian says, I've never read the books, but wanted to. Haven't had the time. Everyone I talk to says the books are way better. Well, that's like me and Firefly. Everyone says it's really good, but I won't watch it because
every
it's
podcast.
I'm sorry, it's a running joke for me. And then we got into Nicole's talking about like Dark Tower, and we're kind of getting off a little bit. Ian with the Firefly, giving it to me right here. So I don't know. So in this one, when he, we're trying to get back to the Harry Potter,
mm-hmm.
when at the very end when Cedric dies, and Harry doesn't want to get off, and when he's holding on to him and he's crying, I really feel like, oh, he's broken. Like
mm-hmm.
this is it. Like
mm-hmm.
this is a moment where, I think, like you just said about thinking he's invincible, like you know, like it's okay, but and I feel like when he's always saved the day. Earlier in one of the matches, he saves the little girl
mm-hmm.
and the
Jenny.
No, it's not Jenny. It's the French girls, and don't make me say her name because I'm not, because I watched that movie like twice and I was like, God bless her. What did she just say? I think this lady just sneezed. What have you? And it was her little sister, and that's when Ron, poor Ron, because all the girls kissing her because you
mm-hmm.
say you helped him. Yeah, I did help him. And I love the beginning of the whole Hermione and Ron, because that's the whole
mm-hmm.
If you wanted me to go, you should have asked early and not made me last resort. And I was like, oh man, he just totally just throw you the bone, and you're just being a knucklehead, which Ron is clearly being complete knucklehead to her. Because especially in that situation, because you could just tell like she puts it out, like she really does. And I didn't realize that until when I really, again, I'm watching these movies with a different outlook. Like, okay, I'm going to have to talk about them. I really have to understand what these people are talking about. Like, to be able to, and I really was like, oh man, she really throws this out of, you should have asked me. Like, I wanted to go with you. And it was really like, wow. And especially after the whole moments in the beginning when you almost start to feel like, oh, maybe she likes Harry because, she gives him a hug, and then the newspaper, like, and she's like, oh, you're just my friend,
Right.
And I think for a lot of the movies, they kind of make you feel like it's going to be her and him.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I like to notice in the movies is how Jenny in the very beginning is so little, and in this one she lands up dancing with I know I hate these names, they kill me.
Can't wait.
The one with the ears, one that always thinks bottom. Yep.
I want you to say it so bad.
I know. I'm gonna draw a blank. I should write these things down. I'm getting old. What's his name? Come on, help me out. You're the worst co-host ever. I just love how you just go ahead. Neville. Yeah. Thank you. And you didn't say anything. I figured it out. Holy cow. It's so bad.
I really wanted you to figure it out.
I even got the little bit of sweat.
I know.
Because I was like, oh my God, how can I forget this kid? Because he's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Because,
he's just like that extra character you just need.
no, I don't think you need. I think his story is much deeper than you think. Because don't forget, he's one of the families that basically gets ruined by Voldemort.
Mm-hmm.
So him going through all these disasters between the room, between learning how to dance and like, you know, just or being, remember when the pixies pick him up and put him on the thing? It's not in this one, but
Yeah.
you know, like he just goes through so many trials of like bad luck for this poor man that when he gets older, good things end up happening. And all of a sudden you have that moment of like, yeah, this kid really did grow up in front of our eyes as a wizard, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's a really good story, but he does get lost with the Harry, Ron, and Hermione story. But you really have to look for those things, which I always think is, yes, Jenny, that's what I was trying to say, dances with Neville the whole night. And it's like, I know they're all getting older, but she still looks like a little girl compared to them because he's like so much taller than her. And they're like
isn't
dancing.
she a lot younger?
Yeah,
Anyway?
she is.
Yeah.
But here's the thought pattern is we know where she lands up at the end.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's that age difference. And all of a sudden you realize like, boom, she's old. Like, you know, it's like, I don't know if this happened to you, but it's happened to me. When I got to the last movie, part 1, part 2, because I feel like it really is one movie, even though it's 2.
Well, it's one book.
Right.
Yeah.
It becomes, at least for me, it just all of a sudden they're all old. Like you don't think of school. There's not talk about nothing. I mean, they're in school, but there is no school. And all of a sudden you stop and go, how old are they? You know, how old are they at this moment? Because they all become men and women at that moment. They're not. And Jenny's young now. And we're only in the 4th movie.
Right.
So I know we still have, well, I know it's supposed to be 3 more movies, but 7, you know. But you kind of sit back and you go, okay, so how did she grow up so fast? But she does. Like, you know, like it's one of those moments.
Well, when you're put in those situations, you do grow fast. Like,
but that's the trick what I'm trying to say to you. Excuse me. I feel like a lot of the things goes by and you don't, like the first time you watch this stuff, and I think the books are different. That's why the books are so great. And because this is every book, they'll talk about people and they stop about like Harry, and they'll talk about Jenny or something. They'll talk about Neville. They'll talk about, you know, what have you, whatever. They'll talk about it. So they'll stop. In the movie, you don't really have that stop and like, oh, we're going to watch this kid.
right.
We watch them. Like we saw Neville learning how to dance and really getting into it and practicing. But it's only a moment and then it moves on.
Yeah.
And I'm sure in a book, it probably gives them more of a moment to shine.
Yeah.
That's what I actually really like about that stuff is that if you watch these and really are a fan and you truly watch these, you get to see all the inside stuff. Then you go, oh, I see here. I get it. I don't know. This one really got really dark. I mean, the only thing I liked about this one too, he doesn't even talk about his aunt and uncle, but he does say, I got here a week ago. So he's still staying with them. Because in the beginning of the movie,
that's right.
When Hermione wakes him up, like wakes up Ron and him in the beginning, he says, when did you get here? And he said about a week ago.
That's right.
So that means
I didn't catch on to that.
I know. I was right away. I'm like, he's still living in that God's-saken place.
Right.
Like I wouldn't even be coming back. But they don't even focus with it because they've kind of like, hey, we only have this much time of movie. You know, we don't have time for the funny aunt and uncle trick, which I don't think we get any more of them. I don't know. I don't remember.
I think we do.
One more.
I think so.
Probably.
Because I think a big thing happens in either the next one or the one after with it.
And my buddy Matt's on. What's up, Matt? Matt's awesome, by the way. Matt's a clown. I just found that out. Like a real clown. Like a real
Good
clown.
for you.
I'm telling you, this guy's going to go to heaven. Anytime you're a clown and you can make kids laugh and stuff, I tell you, it's a tough job. I can barely make my kids laugh.
Well, your kids are different. It's a different laugh.
They laugh at me.
Bingo.
No, but no, but in the
I remember the part where he turned into, like, the Mad Eye Moody gives him that thing to make him a mermaid. That scared me as a kid.
Oh, it's actually
Or,
Neville.
I mean, Neville.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Neville gives it to him.
That's what I meant.
I just love when he's eating it and he just keeps smacking him on the back, and he's like,
Right.
trying to get it down.
Yeah, that scared me as a kid when he turned into a mermaid.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That in
The shark.
Child.
The shark. The
no,
guy
but
is a shark.
Was it the third one when Ron's rat comes to life?
Oh yeah.
That scared me. He scared me as a kid.
I don't remember.
I was a little children.
Okay. No, I know. I get it. I mean, there's stuff.
But like watching it now, it's like, oh, that doesn't. There's nothing scary about that. But
it's gillweed. Yeah, that stuff was nasty. That didn't even look good. Did you even see it? Did you even see it? It was like
that stuff's not good. Never had it, but that's not good.
No, but like I was looking there when he opens up his hand when Neville gives it to him. Mind you, Neville just gives it to him like right from his hand to this other. I'm like, first of all, I'd be like, do I need to cook this stuff? Like, just eat it. And then he doesn't even eat it. Right? He doesn't even eat it because he holds it. And then Mad Moody's like, put that in your mouth, boy. Right. Like, what are you doing? And he's like, and then he's like putting it in his mouth. He's like, I'm like, that stuff looks horrible. Which already the poor. I mean, I know it's all fake, but like again, I don't know how you do it. But when I watch a movie, I put like, okay, what would I do if this? I was like, yeah, I probably puked that up. That was gross. That looks. It's probably just like green licorice, like just licorice, because that's what it looked like to me. Didn't look like. I know I don't like licorice either. I know the whole world.
I would even puke that up.
Nicole, it's okay. We've done so many of these that you are allowed to correct us, and we don't mind. I don't mind. We love the people coming and yelling at us, and we usually are asking someone to look it up for us.
Like, what is that word?
Yeah. Because as much as we try to do this,
we're true fans.
We're not professionals.
We're the hardcore fans here.
Yeah. Well, we are, and we're not. Like, there are gonna be some things. I am a hard fan on some things. Hardcore fan.
Yeah.
I'm a Doctor Who fan. Like
no.
I'm bad.
No
I'm
way.
bad on that. I'm bad on that one. I know too much of those. Way too much. Like I actually know the stuff that I'll go. Like, do you know? And this is a little Doctor Who / Harry Potter. Do you know that Dudley, which is the his cousin, it is the third Doctor's grandson.
I would never know that.
And you're like, who is the third Doctor? But it's the third Doctor grandson. And
in real life or
in real life. In real life. And oh no. You know the little he's not little because he grows up in it. I'm trying to think. He's a little I can't think of his name, and it's really bad too because he's not a main character, but you see him in it all the time. Like he's always like the like a background person. And it's that well, what is it? They're like, I'm trying to think of his name. I don't think he has a name, which is horrible. But he's the first companion, the very first Chesterton. It's his son. And now, mind you, this man is really old, so I'm surprised that he has a son this age. But he has a son this age, and he's in it. And I can't. He's not a main character, but he's in there enough to have like little lines and like he.
Who's he friends with?
He's Gryffindor. He's I'm trying to. It's horrible because you know what it is. He's not a main person, so I don't know his name. Like he's not. Like when his speaking lines is like, yeah, hey Harry, like like it's not a, but he's like Chesterton's thing. So
somebody look it up.
No, I can't think of him. Oh, too, because I was so mad at it because I was like, wait a minute, what now? Doctor Who? Because they're all British, so there's a lot of, and of course David Tennant is in this movie, which is the Doctor, which I brought up in the beginning of the movie when they go to the World Cup there.
Yep.
And you know where they go into the tent and the tent is bigger on the inside, which is like the TARDIS,
Yeah.
which is the Doctor Who, and the 10th Doctor is in that movie.
Oh.
Do you even know who I'm talking about?
No.
Do you remember Crowley Jr.? The one that's Mad Moody.
Yeah.
With the like he's always licking.
Mm-hmm.
That's David Tennant, who becomes the 10th Doctor.
Oh.
And you don't care, but that's okay.
That's one show I won't watch. Are you talking about the kid who gets petrified?
No, not the. Oh, wait a minute. I think he does. I think he is the one that gets petrified. He's a little. I'm trying to think. I think he is the one that gets petrified. Oh no! That's the redhead boy that gets it. He's the little black boy. I'm trying to think of his name, and it's horrible because I know that he's a Doctor Who. His father is the first companion, and it's such a awesome moment, and I can't think. And he's one of the main characters, not the one who does the scoring. He's one of the ones that we see all the time, and he's in every movie, every one I've seen so far. He's in, and I'm always like, oh, that's Chesterton's son. I actually don't know the real guy's name, but I was like, that's his son.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I'm a geek like that. I always, no, not the blonde guy with the camera. Oh God, I love this kid too, and he was saying he was excited to be in it. Okay, we'll just move on because I know I'm not going to think of it. Gosh, but there's a lot of Doctor Who people crossed over in that because it's a British movie and it's a British show.
Yeah.
Which has been going on for almost 60 years. Not exactly, but we're almost there.
Goofy Geek?
No.
Or just British?
The Doctor Who.
That's what I meant.
You said Goofy Geek. I'm like, we're not that old. We are.
Well. Yeah. You're pushing 50.
I'm not 50. I'm 45. I am pushing 50. I am. Okay. That's right. I'm old. I don't care. No, but Goofy Geek is 10 years old. Is over 10 years already.
Really?
Yeah, it really is. Crazy, huh? Getting old.
Told you.
I can't both take a sip at the same time.
Well,
I don't need to cry. It's okay.
I have to sneeze.
Uh-oh. I'm supposed to say God bless you, right? Or look at the She is crying here. Her eyes are all full of
Sorry, friends.
allergies. But I have to say this. I have to say, probably the scariest moment is when they bring him back and the guy cuts off his hand. I was like, "Why you look at me like you don't
remember that part?"
Yeah, don't you remember when he does the spell? He brings the father bone, and he says the father's bone unwilling, and he's like the servant that gives up his hand willingly, and he cuts off his hand, and then that's why they bring back, and then he gives him back a fake CGI hand, which you go, that doesn't look good. But
that ain't it.
That's not working. Don't you remember?
No.
Were you watching them
a month ago?
Oh, I know. And
I'm gonna watch it this week.
But I'm
gonna watch 5 this week.
When he throws it all in the pot, and he throws the okay. And
I do remember
when
that.
we throw it in the pot, yeah,
Yep.
okay, all right. And then they take Harry's blood.
Oh yeah.
That was
blood
scary.
very well.
She passed out. She was like,
that's why I don't remember.
she's passed out on the ground. She's like, I can't remember. I don't know. That was kind of scary because I was just like, oh man, this is real. This is it. He's coming back. I already knew it, but I remember being in the movie theater, and that's the other thing I did. That's the one thing I have to admit. Those are the movies you have to watch over again. You have to, because there's so much. Because when I watched them the first time, I think I got so much of it. And then I watched them a second time, and I even got more. And then I watched them again, and it was like, hey, I didn't even notice that. And there's so much deeper.
Yeah, I feel that way too because I was a kid when I was watching it the first time, and now I'm seeing it in a new light.
Right.
How could that even happen? Or
right.
Who thinks of that? Or
right. I think the biggest thing that I like is they're 14.
Right.
So you
gotta keep putting that in your head.
You keep thinking to yourself, this is 14. we're having adults sitting there that are headmasters and teachers and professors basically agreeing to put 14-year-olds in danger to see anything, even to the competition. Oh, you could die from this. Like, you could die in these competitions.
That's why you have to be 17.
So let's bring.
Because 17's the legal age there, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
But let's bring in a 14-year-old.
Right.
And they're like, well, and I love his attitude. Well, it's absolute binding. Okay. Like, well, first of all, he wasn't supposed to. Somehow he found a way to do it. And all this stuff. And then at the end, it's like, well, it's binding.
Right.
And it's like, you just did everything you could not to do it. So wouldn't you just disqualify him? Be like, hey, you're not. But then it'd be a stupid story.
Right.
By the way, do you not love the two twins when they go get old? They take the thing and then they go flying and then they get really old.
Yeah.
I love those two. I love those two, because those two, what they think about, it'd be like me and your dad. Your dad and I would do stuff like that. Right. We'd be like, yeah, this is a great idea. So not.
But you gotta do it.
Yeah, those are the funny things that I kind of sit back and go, yeah, I would do that or not do that, or but I did like. But that's the one thing I liked about Harry in the very beginning. He's like, I just want a normal life. Like, he's already starting that. Like, I just wanted to wake up and be in a normal house, in a normal room. I mean, I even hated the reporter and like, oh, let's come in here. This is cozy in here. And he's like, well, this is a broom closet. And he says, oh, you should feel right at home in here. And I'm like, do you remember that line? I was like, no. Really? I would have been like, this interview's over. I'm out.
Right.
But of course, when you're 14, you wouldn't do that. You would just take the insult. But as an adult,
Right.
I'd be like, I think this is over.
Right.
I'm out. Like, you're going to throw me under the bus like that? Oh, you should be used to this. I'd been like, yep, me, I'm out.
Yep. You should be used to having the door shut on you.
Yeah, I know. And I just love it. I do love the whole, so at the age of 12, I'm 14. So at the age of 12, I'm 14. He says it like 3 times. And I'm like, by the last one, I just be like, yeah, you forget it. You're not listening.
I'm 12. You're right.
Yeah, I'm just like, just write it. I would have walked out and been like, just write what you want, because you're only hearing what you hear.
Yeah.
But I want to give credit, even though we laughed about the hand for the CGI thing. I want to be honest with you. The fireplace with Sirius Black, that was good CGI. Because his face looked really good, like in that fireplace.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow. And I kept like really looking at it, like really looking at his eyes. And I was like, that is good. They did a good one, this one. And then they did the hand. I'm like, no, not good here.
That's not it. You missed the mark.
I know. But I'm really... I was really surprised how dark we got in that one. For me. It got really dark.
Well, they're going to get darker.
I know.
Enjoy the ride.
I know, but so he's 15 is the next one. So he's 17 by the time it's all over. God, it just feels like he's in his 20s by the time it's over. Well, doesn't it feel like it though? Like they're by the end, the 3 of them are on their own, like doing their thing. And I'm not going to talk too much about that, but it's just like, oh my gosh, they grew up way too fast.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I know this is the years of the, I call it the Justin Bieber years, because you can see their hair starting to grow and they're like kind of got that shaggy, but they're trying to comb it a little bit.
It's the one with, this isn't the one with they have really long hair, is it?
No, not really long, but they're growing out.
Right?
They're growing it out.
Oh.
They're growing it out.
That's the one I like the best, when he has long hair.
I think it's the next one. The next one. No.
I think so.
No.
Well, I don't like the last ones where it's like super shaved. I don't like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's more practical. I mean, they have mops on their heads by the end. I'm like, I can't, though. They have like mops on their heads at the end. Not at the end, but like at these. I was like, oh, yeah.
How do you think they cut their hair in the Wizard World? Do you think they just like put a spell on it, or do you think they actually go somewhere?
Well, I would imagine they probably would go to a barber, but they do the magic. So they would just like
the barber would do it?
Just like, they're floating around. So it's one person and there's like 5 enchanted scissors and clippers and That was deep right there.
That was deep. See, that's the questions I put. Like, how do you think they do that?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the stuff that I think that's the weird stuff. Is the what do they do? Like, obviously, when we went to not in this movie, but the last movie, when we went to the Weasleys, the mom has the dishes floating and they're washing themselves. She has the knitting going, and you kind of sit back and go, all right, that's one household. So what's the world like in their world? Because when we walk down the alley, we don't see too much crazy stuff. People still go in stores and still,
Right.
it's not like floating crazy books being flown at you and stuff. So, I mean, like, no, you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of walking down. Oh yeah, did you not love the whole Sirius Black when he writes the letter? Oh, did you notice that room too? Oh my gosh, this is something I just noticed. I don't know how many times I watched this movie and I just noticed. Do you know when he goes up and he grabs the note and it's from Sirius Black and he reads it and then he says, "P.S. The bird bites," and then it bites him?
I'm having a hard time. This was a month ago.
I know. Okay, he's in a room. Okay, and then he's walking up to that room again, and he asks the that very pretty girl that he has a crush on throughout this whole movie.
Yeah.
He asks her, and then finally gets a nerve to ask her out, and he's like, "Oh," and I believe Cedric already asked her out. That's who he takes to the dance. I just realized it's the owl room, and it was full of bird poop everywhere.
Really?
Like that whole room. I was like, oh. I was like, because I started looking at the background because I was like, I knew the story. I was like, this room is full of owl poop, like all on the walls. I'm like, who wants to go to that room? Like, who's like, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to get letter in the owl poop room. And I was like, that's exactly a barber or magic, salon or magic. But I was like, nobody cleans it. There's
magic that cleans it.
No, if there was magic to clean it, it would. I mean,
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so the dishes can do themselves, but the poop can't clean itself.
I'm just telling you right now. Watch it. Just take 2 minutes and watch that part again. Everybody, you need to watch this part. Go and watch what room I'm talking about, and it's the top of the tower because they clearly walk up the stairs to go there, and it is covered in poop. And I'm like, how is that? How do you even think this is sanitary? Like, and then people walking in and out of it like it's no big deal. Like, yeah, I just walked through tons of owl poop. I'm good.
No biggie.
No biggie.
It's another day.
And he's like sitting there waiting for the owl to come. I'm like, ew. I don't even want to know the smell. Like, I don't know. I know I'm talking like everyone's like, who cares, Niles? Who cares? But that's the stuff that I noticed. I was like, so if owls are all sitting there pooping, why would you want to stand there? Like in that room. Like I'd be outside in the stuff. Like, what are you waiting for? Waiting for my owl to come. Well, you should go inside. Nope, I'm good.
I'm all set.
So then the next question is that where they all hang out?
Who? The owls?
The owls, because you know how like they send mail, but you don't send mail every day.
Yeah.
So
Probably.
if they need a place to go, is that the owl room?
Probably.
Because all it was like step. Ugh. Oh, that's so gross. Can you imagine walking? Like have to walk in that with your shoes and it's all. Ugh.
So squishy. Sticky.
I watched a TikTok thing. I don't like TikTok, but I saw it on Facebook where the girl's eating ice cream, and then like there's this drip on her, and the guy wipes it off and licks it, and then she goes like this. She goes like this, and it's bird poop. And she raises her hand, and the guy's like, and the guy's like gagging. It's really gross, but I found it really funny though, because after watching that movie, it was like the perfect thing for me to see. I was like, oh, that's gross. Because again, I can't imagine sitting in a room and birds are pooping on you. Watch it again. You're going to be like, oh, you're right. And then the girl leaves and she's all nonchalant about it. Like I was just hanging out there in the bird poop room. It was gross. And no one has comments to the bird poop. I was waiting for someone to be like, yes, I saw that in the movie. I am clearly the only one who saw that.
Right.
I'm the weirdo.
I was just trying to figure out what was going on most of the time.
Really?
Yes.
How can you get that lost in a kid's movie?
I don't know. It's probably because I'm not that interested in it.
Oh, now I know why you and your fiance are together. Because I heard, oh, can we watch this movie? Ah, yes. Oh, no, they don't sing this song? I'm not watching this
Right.
movie. And you're like, I don't want to watch this movie. I don't know. I like it. I loved it. I think I loved it because it was so different at the time. Because, I mean, we still... I know we had the big wave of wizards like after this. You know, like Disney started some wizard thing on their show. I don't even remember the name of it, but
Wizards of Waverly Place.
yeah, like they did. Everybody came out with their own Harry Potter type of thing. But I there's something about this just made me go, this is new. I always like the first. I've always been like that. I've always liked the first person that does something, because I always think they're the trailblazer. Like they're doing something. They're taking the chance.
Right.
Because this could totally bomb.
Yeah.
So I always give credit to the people who do something first, whatever it is. And I've always been like that. I've been like that for everything. Because I always feel when you take the chance, it's easy to go down the road when everyone's gone down that road. When you're the first one to make the road, it's a harder thing.
Yeah.
I've always kind of said that. I preach that a lot in my life. I always like doing dumb or silly things. I mean, obviously, a lot of people, if you watch us on the Goofy Geek Boutique, I'm always doing something dumb or silly on there to, just because it's fun. I also try to think to myself, like, okay, if I'm watching this, what am I doing? If I'm watching this, what do I want from this?
Yeah.
And I think to myself, well, I want to be entertained.
Yeah.
I want silliness.
Right.
Even that's probably the only thing we don't like. I don't do this here. Like I don't try to do silly stuff. Like I actually like talking and just talking about what I think or what I don't look for the entertainment of it. I try to look for the connection of it.
Mm-hmm.
I always like when I have that one person who write, yes, I love that part, or that's a good part, or I love the Ians, the Matts, the people in the world, the Nicoles,
The Shannons.
the Shannons who basically tells me, like, yes, I connect. Like, I get that. I love that part. Or even, you haven't seen that movie? Like, I like that because that actually pushes me to see the movie. Like, that'll make me go, all right, I'll do this. Like,
Right.
I have a lot of...
Except for Firefly.
Listen, I have a really good friend, which I'm surprised is not on here, is my buddy John. And he'll, like, constantly, like, just watch it. There's a movie. It'll end it. You're fine. We'll all survive. Like... And I'm always like, yeah, but I heard it's going to get rebooted. So if it gets rebooted, I'll just watch the reboot. What happens if it's not good? Oh, yeah, all right. Like, but that's what I like. I like the connection. I like the, this is why I do this on today. And then, like last night, I did a live. I like that. I like the podcast gives me the moment of connecting with people's on their opinion. I like when people disagree with me. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I like that. I like the different opinion. I don't mean I have to agree with them, but I like when they just like, no, I think this movie's the best, or this is. I love that. I think we all have our different views. I can respect everyone's views, even if I don't like them. There are different people out there. I mean,
I have different podcasts for different moods that I'm in.
Yeah.
Like if I just need like a pick me up, like I need
feeling,
to
yeah.
like laugh, then I'll put something funny on.
Right.
Or if like I need to like fix my mental, I'll put something for your mental on,
Right.
Or like just something to pass time, or just something in the background, then I'll put that one on.
It was weird because I didn't realize, and when we started this, it was a lot of like, how do I make this better? Like, how do I make it funnier, sillier, whatever? Like because I know a lot of people don't know this, but for my lives, it takes me about a week and a half to do a live. Like, I know you're like, oh, you just go on and be an idiot. Nah, I don't. I think of a lot of things like, oh, I want to say this. Like,
It's like a skit.
yeah, it is a skit. I know Shannon. There's a lot of times I'll sit down with Shannon and I'll say ABC, and she'll be like, "You're not saying that." And I'm like, "Okay, yes, I am." And then,
You're right, I won't do that.
yeah, yeah. And then I'll be like, we'll go live, and I'll
Right.
say it, and she'll
Right.
have a moment, and everyone will start laughing, and I'll
Right.
be like, really awesome. Like, oh, I nailed this.
Yeah. But I think that's what makes a podcast. If you just do like the true.
Right, like I'm
Like
so
a
true
true-
here. Like
yeah.
I'm me. Like I say how I feel. I say like when I watch these, like I watch these movies. I really watch these movies, and I really like look at all these crazy things, and I go, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I get this." Or like, I have a little open-minded things to some things, where, like I know with the live, it'll be like, okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say, and it doesn't always work. Like people don't think like. Santa came and visit. When Santa came and visit, we had talked to Santa about telling some funny Santa, like, I don't want to say dirty, but like, high funny jokes.
Adult contact.
Right, a joke.
Yeah.
And then Santa was like, I can't because I had like 3 children there, and Santa doesn't do that. And I was like, okay, Santa, cool. And so a lot of times, like you'll go on and you're thinking, okay, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, hey, and then there are a lot of times I'll sit there and I'm like, okay, this is not the time, not the place. But here I kind of feel like as much as I've tried to go, oh, I want this, I'm not really stressed about any of it. Like I just kind of just do it. And it's from who I am. It's how I really feel. I love geeky stuff. I know you're kind of not that geeky as I am, but I love that stuff. And I feel like I am the person I am today because of those things. And if it wasn't for reading comics when I was a kid, watching stuff, I mean, I was a grown adult when I got brought to go to the first Harry Potter. They're like, come with me. I was like, I don't want to come to watch. And he's like, oh, it's about a boy with magic. I'm like, a boy with magic? I am all set. I watched the first movie. I walked out, and I remember coming home and being like, is there more of these? And she was like, yeah, there's more. Why? And I'm like, I'm going to have to see. And I've ended up seeing all except the last one in the movie.
Do you think that if you watched the first movie, would you read the books if they all came out at the same time? Or would you wait until the movies? Like if they only did the first movie, do you think that you would read the books to find out what happens? I for sure wouldn't, but
I'll be honest with you. I probably wouldn't have, because when I talked about the books to people, they had told me they were kid books and that they were written for for kids. And I was like, well, I'm an adult, and I know.
you?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't
Yeah.
like there are certain like things that I have like oh, could I go into a bookstore? Like, I wouldn't go
This
in the
is
bookstore.
for my child.
Right. I'm not going to the bookstore to buy like Cat in the Hat and be like, oh, good read in here. Like I'm not like that. But I don't know. I like to think that I probably would have started reading them, but I think I would have had to get to a certain point, because there was a certain point where even parents told me, oh, hey, these books are getting really dark. They're getting a little more mature. They're growing up with the kid. Then I'll tell you right now, I probably would have got the second book and I probably would have gone, okay, if I know they're going to get my big scare after the first movie was these were movies were going to stay the way they were.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, because it stayed very. The first movie was very childish. I mean, they were 11, so I was like, "Oh, hey, this was a good, cute movie." And I always like to say too is I grew up in an era of time where it was the 80s, where cute movies were in. Like I watched Twins, which was Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito being twins, and it was just silly. Kindergarten Cop, like stuff that was just, it was like no brain. You just watched it. It was cute. It wasn't big blockbuster movies. And I remember being in 8th grade and just going to the movies constantly and just going to see light little movies and going, I love this movie. This was a feel good movie.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we have that. I feel like we have blockbusters, or we have like, this movie didn't really cut it, and gets pushed onto like Netflix and stuff, and then you just go, well, I didn't know about this movie, and then you watch it by accident or what have you, and go, hey, that was a cute little movie. How did that not make it onto the big screen? So I think I have a different attitude when it came to like Harry Potter, because when I sat down, I was like, that was a cute movie, and then as the next movie came out and I watched the next one, I was like, ooh, this is getting a little deeper.
Yeah.
And then like now I'm in. Like soon, this is the movie that really made me go, yeah, I'm not missing any more after this. Like really, I'm not missing. And it's the fourth movie.
Yeah.
I mean, the other three were like good, and I did watch them. But when it came to these,
I think this one like I enjoy a lot more than the other ones, because like you said, they are
right. Nicole, actually, not to interrupt you, but Nicole nails it right here. She says the details are explained that are not in the movie, in the books, and it helps everything makes more sense. And I do believe that that's right. But what happens is that throughout each movie, we get deeper and deeper, and we get more information that makes you go, I'm not missing it. Like, I'm not missing a movie. After this one, you have to be.
Yeah.
Because the last movie was really nothing about Voldemort at all. And then this movie was all about him. And then it became like, we see the showdown happening in movie 4. Because everything on this is that we're not kids. We need to defend ourselves. Because, I mean, at the end of one of the things at the end of the movie, Dumbledore is saying, I believe you should know. He's back. This is real. This is not a game. And that's when the movie becomes fairy tale to, this.
Well, and I think as much as the first 3 aren't as like dark and everything, it has to set it up. You have to start from somewhere. And then now, like, that's probably why I didn't like it as much, because I don't like prequels. I don't
It's like building every character. Yeah. It's like, okay, Hermione's smart.
Yeah.
Like by the time you got to get to this one right now, you already know who Ron is. You already know who Hermione is. You already know who Neville is. Like, we're throwing out all the we already know who Dumbledore is. We already know who. Well, all right, maybe we know who Mad Moody. Like, we already like, okay, who's this guy? Mad Moody. Right. Okay. Oh, he's a badass. Okay, we like him. Okay, who else is there? There's, Snape. We still think something's up, because in those first movies we thought something was up. So we already know. Like, I like to say everyone's in a pile. Everyone's like, so now in this movie we don't have to put anyone in piles anymore. Like, boom, here it is.
Yep.
Even when the circle comes around Voldemort, he's ripping off the mask, and there's Lucius, and you're like, yeah, Malfoy, we get it. That we knew that one was coming. Like, like, okay, we get it. And I think that's what makes this movie like unbelievable, is that it just it's not Tuma. Get the copper. No, to the chopper. Poor man. I mean, this man, I gotta tell you, I don't know if you ever watch any interviews with Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he loves that everyone laughs at that.
Really? Yeah,
like he goes, I love when, not to the chopper, or, I'll be back. Like, they make fun of his accent, but it's, like, hey, it's it made me famous. Who cares?
Right. Yeah.
Again, I always give hats off to those people, the people who can get it. Get to the chopper. But for me, I think this movie is where we grow up very fast, or at least that's how I feel. Because at the end of this movie, you go, okay, everyone's growing up here. The threat is real.
Yep.
I believe, isn't the next movie everyone denies it? Like, everyone denies it, but yet that's the other thing I can't stand.
Nice what?
The next movie, everyone denies it. Like, he's not back. This was just a rumor. And I'm like,
well,
are
in
you
every
kidding
movie,
me?
they're like,
he's
back.
And
like, no, kidding.
No, with every movie it says that he's back.
Right.
But guess what? There's
he's
always there's always those, like, main people, like, that's just a lie. Like, it's that politics stuff where it's that craziness where it's like, it's not true.
And then all of a sudden someone would be like, yeah, I had my arm blown off by him. It's true. And it's like, wait a minute, you had your what? Oh, yeah, well, I didn't know. Everyone told me I should not go out at night, but I was like, this can't be true.
Right.
It's like, now I believe.
Right.
And it
only takes one.
Really? It only takes one? Let me just tell you. There are people out there who all believe in what they believe. I respect that. But I always amazes me when you find that one person who is die hard on something and then they go,
You were right.
I died. Like, you're like, what? I didn't believe diabetes was real, and now I have it. Right. I thought it was I really don't feel good. And you go, wait a minute,
what? Kidding.
What are you talking about? I mean, and I'm not. Do you think? All right. So Ian asks, do you guys think anyone else could have done Voldemort?
Like actor-wise?
Like actor-wise? Oh no. Did you hear what he did? He requested a special, like, half ring for his wand. So you ever watch him hold his wand? He just holds it like this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's actually, like not tied, but there's a ring that goes around his finger just right, because that's what he wanted. Like, that's what he wanted, where he wanted his hand to float and, like, not really hold on to the wand.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's effing awesome.
Yeah. Like,
that's his touch to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, this
Didn't
guy
he
has
have like a special breathing thing because of the way?
No, actually, he just had a few dots on him.
That's it?
That's it. And they computerly took off his nose. That's not even makeup. Wow. That makes a question about the hand, too. How can you do the guy's nose so good? The guy's hand is horrific. He was amazing.
I watched,
you know who he's married to? Oh, he was.
Who?
The girl who played River Song in Doctor Who.
Oh my god. What?
Yes. Alex Kingston. Kingston? She used to be in ER.
Cool.
Okay, moving along. You didn't watch ER and you haven't watched Doctor Who.
I don't do blood.
Oh yeah, okay. Don't talk to Shannon. She watches Grey's Anatomy.
Sorry, Shan.
And he goes, I just had to make sure. I had a discussion the other day. Oh, no, I thought he was a great actor, and I love the fact that the whole wand thing. Like, I have to tell you, that's what he says. That's what I wanted for the part, was that he, like, just that he had that one little bit made me go, you were the man. Whoever came up with you was exactly right.
I think it's hard to, like, put other actors in. Like, I think everyone should be who they were. Dumbledore should have been the second Dumbledore the whole time.
Yeah, he was. And I hate to do that because the other guy was more of the whole, like, Harry. Like, he was real, like, old.
Right. Like how he's supposed
quiet and whispery. And I'm sure that's what the book went for. Mm-hmm. And the new guy, which he was also on Doctor Who, by the way, he did a Christmas special with the 11th Doctor.
Fantastic. Yeah. Moving along.
I think he was just more like, I liked how, like, in this one he stared out to space a lot. Like, he would kind of have that moment of, like, I'm just gonna act like a crazy old man and just be like, and really knowing exactly what he was somewhat's happening. Like, okay, I don't know exactly what's happening, but I have a good clue. This might happen. Yeah. And Nicole says, I am such an Harry Potter nerd. I have the wands. I have a friend who has all of them. All of them.
All the ones?
All of them. And I'm like, because he had one of those, I don't know who sells them, but there's a book, a magazine who sells, like, Lord of the rings, and, like, sells everything. And he got all the wands, all of them. And he has actually a big... like, I'm moving my hand in the podcast, people can't see it, but, like, it's on his wall, and it's all displayed.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool. I've gone and seen it a few times. That right next to his Link Shield and Sword from Legend of Zelda.
Cool.
Yes, which I only played the very first game, so I just saw a thing of podcasts on that.
Of Legend of Zelda?
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, I like this guy. I'll listen to him." And like, because he's a wrestler, so I was like, "Oh, he's doing a podcast. I'll watch this."
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I never
It was
realized.
bad.
I realized that if you don't know about something, you probably shouldn't listen to it.
Mhm.
So if you're not a Harry Potter person, don't listen to this.
Right. You can.
But you can't. But if
Right.
you know,
If you want to just like know the spoilers, so you don't have to watch it.
I gotta be honest with you. By the time I was done with that, I was like, "Oh, I could totally BS my way too." Like, someone says, "Hey, do you play Zelda?" Be like, "Yes, I do." Oh, do you love this game? Because I totally
I play it every day. I can tell you all the secrets.
no. Because my luck, someone would throw out something and be like, "What about that?" I've been like,
Oh, I didn't hear that one.
"That wasn't in the podcast." Oh God. No, but I don't know. I just love the. Oh, and of course, did you see the cabinet? I know we're running out of time, but did you see the cabinet? I love this little Easter egg that I noticed. And I never noticed it. Dumbledore walks to the
Why do you keep calling him that?
Dumbledore. I put an F, don't I?
Put an
I
F
don't know.
every
I
time.
I think it's I get a little lazy with my mouth and it comes out. But it's not meant to be. It's supposed to be an R. Or an R. Stop crying.
I can't help it.
Your allergies, I know.
Oh my god.
He leans over. Dumbledore leans over to a cabinet, and you see the triangle and the thing. Like you see, yeah, I don't know
symbol?
the symbol. I
Yeah.
know, I forgot the name of it.
Somebody will tell us.
Nicole,
Nicole.
what's you're knocking? What is that knocking on the door?
Where's the bell?
Ding ding, yeah.
Nicole.
Poor Nicole. She's like, the
Well, Shannon's
symbol.
probably like, oh, at least I don't have to
I
do
know.
this one.
Shit's like, finally, I don't have to do this stuff. But the symbol, which is supposed to be
it's a
the
triangle,
cloak,
the circle,
the
and
cloak,
line.
the wand, and the It's supposed to be the
Nicole.
three. It's supposed to be the three things. No, really.
No, I know what you're talking about. But
I know.
don't
It's the
remember what
cloak,
it is.
the wand. What was the third? Oh, the stone.
Yeah.
The philosopher's stone, or the sorcerer's stone, whatever country you're in. I like how you whisper right into the microphone.
Oh my god.
My eyeball. Oh my god, my eyeball.
I'm sorry, podcast. It's been a week. On the struggle bus today.
Is that the
Beep,
short
beep.
bus?
It's the struggle.
Short bus. Oh.
All right. Well,
All right. So is there any wait a minute. Oh, the dinner bell. The Deathly Hollow symbol. Really, that was it?
that was it.
I really thought it was going to be some cooler name than that.
Right. It's got to be something.
Oh, that was such a letdown right there. That was such a letdown.
God damn it, Nicole.
You totally ruined my day, Nicole.
Couldn't you make something up?
I know. Can you make some? Because I mean, the Deathly Hollow symbol. It's like Deathly Hollow symbol.
Right.
I think it's the way I read it.
I think it's just a letdown.
It just assumed. People are like, yeah, of course it's that. You idiots. Someone's like, quick, someone get their podcast license. Take it away.
Nicole, you want to come on the podcast?
Yeah, I
And
know.
tell us- just like shout it from the background.
We need that third party.
Right.
We do need a third person here. Even
Anyone
though
who wants to join us.
I know. We have a wait. We do. We're going to have a guest, aren't we? We're going to have a
Yeah.
guest. We're going to have a guest after we're done with the. Oh, we got like the seventh one. I
We're
think
halfway
we should,
there.
No, I think the seventh one. Well, let's agree. We'll just do
Both of them at the same time?
movie
Perfect.
to get it over.
Thank God.
Yeah,
It's a great, I do appreciate it. It's
I
a
do.
great story.
it is. It is. No,
It's
it
just so long. I have a short attention span.
is. I know. Trust me. I know. But yeah. See, it's invisible cloak. Yeah. See, and I see. I was right.
Good job.
See, I was right. Thank you very much.
Wow.
I paid attention.
Good for you.
No, I have to be honest. I got to get one of those tumblers you guys have there.
We'll hit up our.
Well, you have to go to the Goofy Geek Boutique to get a tumbler. You can message them
And if you message them,
They will reply.
they will reply back and tell you all your information you need to know.
Yep.
And it actually comes in sparkle and not sparkle.
You can't tell, but
You
it's
can't
there.
tell because it's so far away, but mine actually is plain, and yours has a little glitter on it.
Look, glitter. I'm still laughing at the time. You're like, oh yeah, yours has glitter. Oh yeah, I see it.
Oh, too many inside jokes to these things. There's tumblers are amazing. Here we go. Nicole's now pushing for the tumblers.
They are.
Shannon's going to be like, what are you guys doing?
Tumbling. All right.
All right. So
Let's wrap this up.
So I pretty much, for me, I love, this is the movie for me. So I wish everyone could start here.
Right.
I do, but
Right.
I know why we have to watch the three first
You have to
ones.
build it up.
But-
you got to put background in there.
Well, I think it's the fact that now we're deep into the story. So this is, I feel like from this point on, it's pure story. There's no more. Well, we do get a few characters, but nothing
Yeah.
that lives or dies. You know, like, well, I'm talking about like really
Right.
care about.
Right.
So for me, I think this is the movie you need to. This is worth watching the first three to get to this movie, and then the rest are all like you have to watch.
Yeah.
So that would be it for today, I
Yeah.
believe, unless you have something else you would like to say.
I'm good.
You're good?
Thanks for watching.
Yes,
and
thank you
listening.
for watching and listening.
We're
And we appreciate the love and the people who joined us on the Goofy Geek page. But we are the Goofy Geek podcast, which if you go on YouTube on Tuesdays, we usually post on Tuesdays, correct?
Yeah,
On
just
YouTube.
the audio.
Just the audio.
Around
I know,
8
not the
a.m. Sometimes.
Sometimes,
Most of the
huh?
time. I try to, but sometimes technology just doesn't want it.
Oh,
Love
so
you,
Ian
Ian.
says, anytime, love you all. But I will tell you one thing, and I know this is really going to be the last thing I'm going to say, is that I want to give credit to everybody who talks to us, because it makes it so much more fun that we can talk and enjoy the
You,
conversation. And remember, it's next week on Sundays at 6 o'clock on the Goofy Geek. We go live, and then we put the audio part. So if you like to hear it over or like haven't heard it or want to share it, you can share it from YouTube. Alrighty?
Alrighty.
All right. Thank you so much again, and have yourself a good one.
Bye.
Bye.